Seems like Christmas came early for a certain subset of combat sports fans this year. Jake Paul got his jaw broken by Anthony Joshua in a mess of a fight. Yoel Romero somehow got a tech fall over Pat Downey despite being 48 years old. And Anderson Silva at 50 got a knockout in boxing, even if it was against 2025 Tyron Woodley. The cherry on top for a lot of people was Andrew Tate losing in embarrassing fashion to Chase DeMoor in his Misfits Boxing debut. The fight was plainly awful. The level of skill display was not up to par for athletic individuals with time and resources to prepare well for a fight. Originally I was thinking about making a video about why Tate lost from a technical perspective, but there's really only so much you can say about terrible footwork mechanics, having a jab that doesn't allow any kind of follow-up, the inability to put combinations together while maintaining your stance, the complete lack of tools to deal with clinches, and so on. But really what it comes down at the end of the day is mediocre preparation. We have seen a bunch of excuses and narratives around this fight and Jake Paul's. Jake Paul looked embarrassing against Joshua. He could have fought taking the gamble to push his win condition and get killed earlier in the process, but he was never going to win that fight. Jake Paul is like a decent regional level cruiserweight who made a career out of beating bad and or shot MMA fighters in boxing. Like someone said to me on the Discord server, he's exactly the kind of fighter who loses against Tommy Fury. He was never going to beat a legit ranked heavyweight, come on now. Andrew Tate, on the other hand, used to be a professional combat sport athlete fighting a guy who really can't box at all. Tate's kickboxing career is hugely overrated by people who have never watched kickboxing, can name anyone he has beaten, and think that his ISCA title at the time he won it was worth anything at all. But he was still a decent mid-level pro kickboxer with good attributes back in the day. To put it in words most of you can understand, he was an MMA fighter instead. He was not very likely to make it to the UFC unless he had connections or some kind of fandom, but he was still a pro fighter back in the day. Mind you, he was like a karate-based kickboxer with awful hands, but you would assume he had the discipline to train hard and put on decent training camps back then. For someone with his background to show up to a fight like this is inexcusable. He has the money, he has attributes, he has experience. For people to make excuses for him being old at 39 is embarrassing. Just remember what Anderson Silva and Yoel Romero did that same weekend. And let's be real here, Tyron Woodley looked more the part of a boxer than either Tate or DeMoor by a long shot, and he's 43. The habits and conditioning Tate brought to the table screams someone who surrounded himself with yes men, was maybe hitting the pads a lot, and then was sparring either subpar competition or fighters instructed to not give him a hard time. A lot is said about how you gotta respect anyone who steps into the ring, but guess what? Most regular blokes would step into a boxing ring for an obscene amount of money, even against someone as scary as Anthony Joshua. In fact, a lot of people actually have stepped into the ring absolutely for free. And we did not do it for props or recognition, we did it for the love of the game. I've tried to avoid talking about Tate outside of fighting during this video because there's enough to critique there, to be fair. But maybe do not let a guy who says real men are fighters, never lose, never cry, and then shows up to a fight looking like this, only to cry about it and pray for participation trophies in the form of props for being willing to step into the ring, bro. Tells you what to do with your life. You're being grifted here. You don't need any loser on the internet to tell you to be disciplined and stay motivated towards your goals. And you also don't need to be a bad person to accomplish that. Neither does it make you any less of a man to recognize your humanity and have empathy for others. I really wanted to make a video about the technical side of it, but it's just so many times that you can point out that a guy is crossing his feet and hanging his chin in the air, not putting any kind of decent combinations together, so it didn't make for a really good video. So I ended up making this opinion piece. Hope you guys kind of enjoyed that. If you want to check out other videos, they will pop on the screen right now. If you want to get some merch, you can click the link below. If you want to support me monetarily directly, you can head over to Patreon for exclusive content. Merry Christmas for anyone who celebrate, or just have a good day if you don't. Thank you for your support, guys, and I'll catch you guys on the next one.